8 p.m. Wednesday. Hump day is over, folks. Finally, we're halfway through. We're closer to the weekend. 2 days more of the hellish grind, I want to call it, of my career of a diesel truck mechanic until we can get back to pulling maybe even Friday night, and we're going to get to what's going on locally around Friday night. But we are headed to for the weekend. Welcome to another hopefully non-screwed up night of Spinnin and Grinnin. I apologize for the delay, a little past 8:15. My projection is always 8 o'clock. We moved it to 8:15. I was working, as everybody well knows, the little problems I've been having computer-wise. Excuse me. Actually, it's iced tea. The screen freezing up. I think I got it. Did some updates, did some other digging, and that's what held me up in trying to get the my Winter Circle clip made up for Boonsboro. But that is where we stand. So welcome to Spinnin and Grinnin here at the Desperate Measures Pulling Team Studio. As fancy as it is, as you can see, I still haven't got the little virtual setup going, but we're currently give you a little update on what we're doing and where I'm screwed up trying to get all this stuff done last minute. We're house hunting yet again. We have been for over a year, and it's been nothing but great. We'll put it that way. To say it in a lie, it's horrible. It's fun. Once you get a place, it's just the stuff you got to go through to get there is absolutely horrendous. My patience level is about yay, so it's stressful, put it that way. So, but we're working on it. We're making moves. We're doing stuff, so it's kind of taking some time out of this week. Hence my hold up tonight with other things. I just didn't have a lot of Monday, Tuesday to work with. But anyway, to get into it, that way we don't do a long, drawn-out show because we're starting late already. I don't want to keep people up because we got to go to work tomorrow. Yay. Well, most of us do. Well, hopefully all of us. If we got a pulling vehicle, we're definitely going to work tomorrow. But to start it off, of course, we're going to do a recap of the East Coast Pullers, East Coast Pullers LLC. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on the web at eastcoastpullersllc.com. They have everything on there. Your points rundown, your the points rundown, your events rundown per events that happened, and also their schedule, full schedule. I mean, not just a schedule I follow that's sitting in front of me for the four-wheel drives because I'm trying to make them, but everything. I mean, there's events that four-wheel drive might not be at. There's events that modified might not be at, but they're all different. Some dates, they step on one another, like four-wheel drive will be in Gilbert, but pro stocks and modifieds, two-wheel drives could be somewhere else the same day. So definitely check out the website. That's where you're going to find the information, the promoters, the times it starts, the address, all the information you need to get to whatever East Coast event that you want to hit. So check them out again, eastcoastpullersllc.com. Got everything, and check out the Facebook page. Little updates. The Facebook page is good for weather. They try to keep updated on there whether the event's going to be canceled, how the weather's looking, things of that nature. So, and also pictures. A lot of their pictures get posted up on the Facebook page, and there is a heck of a lot to look at. So, hopefully everything's going good. We'll see what's happening here. Anybody yelling at me? Not yet. Okay. I got to remember I got the phone running, so you know me and that. You'll comment a half an hour later. I'll be like, oh, look at that. So, yeah, that's how we roll around here. So, anyway, with no further ado, why don't we get into Boonsboro? All right. Before we get to the rundown of how everybody placed and we'll get a little bit of talking about a particular four-wheel drive truck to get into, too, which I'm excited to talk about because I love the truck, love the team, great people, and they're making moves. So we'll get to it. But anyhow, Boonsboro, never really been to the track before except for this year. The first event we went down, everything was wet, squishy. That was earlier in the season. So the track was soft. They had to do some work to get the event in, but it got it in. Track was decent. Everything worked out, and they got it. Well, the second event, well, there was no rain in the forecast that I was aware of, that nobody was aware of. Well, we got rained on. Now, did we cancel the event? No. Dave Moore said, to hell with that. We're going to ride this sucker out. And guess what? We rode it out. It had a little bit of a shower, and it turned out to be a beautiful night. And that shower made that track turn around. It was good to begin with. And after the rain, that sucker turned sticky, bad, tight. Awesome track. If you like a power track, that track has got the potential of everything you could ever want it to be. I was amazed when I went on. I walked on, I'm like, I'm in trouble. I mean, the sticky tracks, the other guys got the power to overcome it, and they run the mill on me, and I was expecting it. I'm just like, well, we're going to do what we can do. So we did. And I was like, I might as well touch base on mine since it's me and I pulled a class. Everybody knows I'm underpowered compared to the other guys. I am where I'm at. No big deal. It's still fun. I enjoy it, and I learn a lot from these guys. It's a great group. Went down the track since my last one at Shippensburg with the tight track of putting excessive hook in the truck, which I should not have done, but got to try something. Took a little bit out of it this weekend, aired up the tires. We'll get into the tire deal here. This is cute. But got the air in the tires, took some bite out of the truck, went down the track, added 8 feet from Shippensburg, so I'm excited. I beat my own distance, so, that's a win in my book. I'm more or less pulling on my own. So, definitely did better. Tried to wiggle the sled a little bit at the end. Straighter pulled it better, but tried to wiggle it, tried to time it when that pan hit to just kind of see if I could get anything, whether to loosen up or just do something stupid to get me a couple extra feet. Did it work? Maybe. I don't know. There's nothing set in stone to say whether or not that happened. But we gave it a shot. I forget what well, we'll go through it. You'll find out. But tire issue. Well, Friday night, we'll just get through it real quick. Friday night, checked everything out, checked all the stuff out in the trailer. Everything was good. So we pull out of here Saturday morning, headed to Boonsboro. How today going? Nothing, all good. Traffic was beautiful. Everything was working out. Dropped the rear gate where I got 2 of the tires sitting in the back behind the truck. I look over. Why is that tire flat? Well, the tube that's in the tire, China-made tubes, I got some ordered. I don't think they came today. Just thinking about that. Maybe, hopefully tomorrow. M.E. Miller Tire is my savior on a lot of tire stuff. That's where my tubes are coming from. The first set was kind of they're Firestone, but they're not the heavy rubber, the real rubber that you get with the 34x18 tire. It's a little bit thinner. And the newer 31x1550s, that tire seems to have a different footprint than my old style, the single bars, which are now cut to double. That tire seems to be like a fatter tire. There's something different with it, and I think that tube just kind of overexcited. I've been pushing the limit on it, so we got a little bit of a different tube. So we're going to see what happens. Hopefully it holds up. Right now it's kind of a tubeless. The godsend of Dave Moore, and actually Davey, he was coming from the shop. We got in Dave's truck. I asked him if he had a tube of silicone because apparently I didn't have any in the trailer. And he thought he had one, didn't have one. Well, he said, jump in the Dodge, we'll head over to the shop. His shop's not far from there. Get a tube of silicone and try to, rig this thing up just to hold enough air to get down the track. So we were on his road, headed there, and then Davey was coming up. So they kind of met in the middle. Davey brought it and then basically put it out there. Big, huge thanks to the Moore Motorsports shop supplies, we'll put it that way, by saving my butt with the tube of silicone. I'll get you one, even though they're not worried about me getting it back, but I'll pay it forward, give it back to them. A huge appreciation, and that right there speaks the volumes of what I keep preaching about the East Coast Pullers. Now, I'm not saying any other group with Pro Pulling League, NTPA, or anything else is bad, but East Coast is what we got out here for the PPL. That's that first branch, like I spoke about last week, that came off of the Pro Pulling League. And they're all about helping it out, making sure people could get down the track. And like I said, with the rain, no, we're going to wait this out. We're going to make this happen. They don't give up. They don't give up on me. They don't give up on any of the other pullers. They don't give up on the track or the event. I don't know how else to put that, but that's where it speaks. It just... I don't like to use that family term. It kind of is, kind of isn't. In pulling, like a lot of people say, the pulling family. I don't know. I'm a little wishy-washy on that one. There is a family, but I don't like to put it that way with the family because families bicker and fight. So it does happen, but so you can call it that. But the camaraderie of it doesn't matter what class. Some guys are picky, but it doesn't matter what class you're in, whatever. Everybody's for everybody. Everybody's going to make it happen. Shippensburg, Andrew Gantz with the Patriot pulling team. Everybody knows the Patriot Pro Stock, the Super Stock Alcohol International tractor with the side shields all painted up real nice with the ghost images of all the wars from Revolutionary on up to Desert Storm. Really cool tractor. Awesome tribute to all of our armed forces. Anybody who serves puts their life on any line. Getting back to where I was going with this, Mr. Andrew Gantz is what I call Tommy Bedger's sidekick there. He was out there in the track turning the hubs for me, chasing my truck in the hot heat of Shippensburg. So right there, there's the guys just get together, and it's just absolutely awesome. But anyhow, Boonsboro, I keep Bloomsburg and Boonsboro. I don't know why I can't straighten this out with myself. but Bloomsburg's awesome. I hate the hill on 70 to get there, but once you get to the place, I love the layout. Track's in a cool spot. If you got hillside over, you could sit in the grass on your chairs. Then you got the bleacher side, depending on which way you want to go with it. Beautiful place. I mean, there's little rocks pop up through the parking lot here and there. You got to try to avoid. But other than that, I mean, just a very good system of how things operate. Getting down the track, getting off the track is beautiful. Getting down to it, you get down the side in front of the stand so everybody gets to see whatever you got. Then you hook up on the track, go down the track. As soon as you're done on the track, you pull up a little bit and you shut off. Tractor is waiting there for you. They pull you up a lane. They have roped off that's dedicated, goes right back into the pits. It is just a complete, just awesome system. Similar to like the Buck, where they pull you down and boom, get off the track. Let's move. Keep it going. It's just awesome. Awesome place. People there are great. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's just, it's a really cool place. I mean, I love going there except for that stinking hill. But I got to say, climbing at it, I was really worried because it is a long, long-ass incline. It didn't seem very steep because my gas hauler with that trailer, with all the weight I have in it, I mean, of course, I had high RPMs in the motor, which I hate doing that for that length of time, but it was going good. It pulled the hill actually at 65 mile an hour. So I was actually impressed. So it's not really a jagged incline that's like just kills you. It's just a long, drawn-out pull. So all in all, the hill I was worried about all this time turned out not to be so bad. So, good news on that. But unfortunately, that's the last pull of Boonsboro for us. And I guess we're not going to go back there. Everything Virginia, let's see. I got that right in front of me. Yeah, everything that way. Except for, I mean, it's all PA and one Maryland. Everything else is all up in PA towards the eastern corridor now for the four-wheel drive trucks. That's about where we're at. So that way is done. No more Virginia and no more Western Maryland. So I don't mind that ride on 95, though. You can keep 95. 70 is beautiful. 95 stinks. But anyway, let's get down to the what we usually do. We'll do a recap of all the where everybody landed on that awesomely tight track. Like I said, it was bad for me, but man, what a track. God, that thing turned around. Well, we'll start off with the East Coast Diesel Pro Stock Diesel 4-wheel drive. East Coast Diesel is the sponsor for that class. Coming home with first place, Mr. Andrew Grove with the Bad Timing Dodge at 302.94 feet. Second place, Norman Newswanger, Chapter 11 Ford, 299.95. Third place, Carl Ankiewicz, Livin on the Edge Dodge, 297.15. James Barter took home fourth place with the Barter Turbo Service Ford with a 292.14 feet. Chris Mass with the Skeeter Control at 290.73 for fifth place. And sixth place was Jeremy Denson with 2 Disturbed Dodge at 262.21. Rolling right into modified tractors. If this cord would stop this. I forgot to clip it. First place was Jason Mckenzie with the Never Satisfied mod tractor, the 2 Hemis at 274.68 feet. Second place, Len Brookhart with the Radial Reactor at 273.44. Third place, Mr. Phillip Jones with the Attitude Adjuster, 261.42. Fourth place, Courtney Robinson with the Phony Farmer, 251.19. 5, Dave DeCou with the Double Vision Twin Allison tractor, 244.48. Got a little something to touch base on with that one. Sixth place, Mr. Tim Robinson with the Phony Express, 241.27. And seventh place with James Brommer of Here's Hopin' of 178.12. There's another thing I could talk about that I didn't write down on my notes. So, but for the mod class, it seems like it's the first, second, and third. You got Phillip Jones, third place almost every single time. And then you got Len Brookhart and Jason Mckenzie flip-flopping every weekend. First, second, back and forth. So it's kind of like Groundhog Day in that class. But like I said, it's about halfway over, so anything's possible. But going back to Dave with the Double Vision Twin Allison tractor, I got word that on that pull, I missed it. I was up in the pits working on my tire and avoiding the rain. One of his Allison motors, I was talking to the one fellow that helps him out. Apparently they hurt the motor, and they're saying that it's pretty bad. I got that news today, or they're digging into it. They're about halfway dug into the motor, but it kind of looks like it's on the bad side of things. I really hope it's not. I hope they dig into it and be like, oh, it's not as bad as we thought. But if you know your equipment and you're thinking that something's bad, it's probably bad. So I just hope whatever it is not too costly. They can get that baby out there and start hooking again. I mean, pulling off that 5th place, yeah, they're making a little bit of headway here. I mean, they got tough. It's like me. We both got tough competition to overcome. But, I mean, he's starting to creep a little bit up there, and I'd like to see him do it. So, I mean, at 5th place, he was good. Pretty excited with that, and I'm happy for him. With James Brommer running the Here's Hoping. For anybody out there that knows, poor Mr. Art Brommer fell ill. He was in a hospital for a little while. I don't know exactly all the details. I try not to get into that. I don't pry into that kind of that personal side of things. But he was doing bad for a while, and there was a lot of concern. But apparently I think he's home now, and he's doing better. So anybody out there that's kind of wondering about that, it's kind of eased up now to where he's recovering and everything's going good. So hopefully see him at one of the next few pulls. Hopefully he's in good enough shape and he can get back out there. And if he hasn't already, I don't know if he was at Boonsboro, but if he was, I'm sorry I missed him, but I'm not sure if he was with how sick he was. I mean, it was a little scary there for a little while, but he kicked it up and took it up a notch and beat it. So good for him, and hopefully, like I said, we'll see him at a pull. But moving on, Super Stock Pro Stock Tractor. Another Groundhog Day again. Not a bad way. Mr. Ryan Hoyt brings home first place with the Nutcase Case 970 tractor at 345.60. They have got that sucker tuned up, running. I mean, he's getting hard to stop. Really getting hard to stop. It's amazing that they finally got where they wanted to be with that thing. And I mean, it's like a light switch. They turned it on, and that sucker hasn't turned off since. It's amazing. But second place, Mr. Tommy Bedger with the Patriot, came home with 325.43. That's good for second. And that is second place, but first for points. So Tommy finally signed up a little bit late in the points, and if he keeps this tractor downwind, I guess he's pulling, because he's been unstoppable for those high points, top placings. So I don't know if he's going to be able to grab the points. I mean, he's pretty good behind, but he's making some dramatic moves. We'll put it that way. Third place, Mr. Kevin Windsor with the 6 Shooter. That came in at 324.09 feet. Fourth place, Josh Martin with Think Green at 315.55. Fifth place was Tim Ammons with the Ultimate Harvester at 313.13. Sixth place, Davey Moore on One More Deer at 312.76. Seventh place, Robert Martin with that darn deer, 304.40 feet. Eighth place, Davey Moore with the More Agitation. Yes, I know it's Tara's tractor at 300.89 feet. After that little turbo issue that Tara had on the tractor, trying to find something like when she's driving, she knows the tractor, don't get me wrong, but she put Davey's butt in the seat to be like, can you feel something different? Just for a different view on the tractor to see if there's something like, oh yeah, this doesn't feel right, and be able to tune up on it and get her back to where she started the season. After that turbo popped, it's like that momentum, having a hard time getting that momentum back, and they got to get it back. I mean, they're not done. They ain't done fighting, but that momentum just hasn't swung back in yet, and I think it's coming. I really do. It's got to pick up. I mean, they're not one to give up, so especially try and put Davey in the seat, see if he could pick something out. I'm kind of wondering about the next pull, which not sure if I'll see them or not. Depends where we're at, but interested to see if that sucker lights up. But anyhow, ninth place, Mr. Robert Martin with John Deere Green at 297.44. 10th place, Matt Doherty with the Dairy Deer at 287.40. 11th place, Ed Ammons, Redline Harvester at 284.57. 12th place, Mr. Corey Hoyt with the Case Pending at 269.94. And 13th was Dave Becker with Light the Fire AC at 243.30. I missed that Class 2 working on my tire. It was a boring day for me. Exciting but boring. The Light the Fire AC, it's usually a good running tractor. Apparently, I think if I'm correct, there was a pop. And I was told later on that night that the tractor split the block. I haven't got confirmation on that, but from what I've heard, that was not a good pop that came from that tractor. So, yet again, hopefully it's nothing that they they probably know, but hopefully it's not what I'm thinking it is. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Greg for the That helps out Dave with the double vision to Twin Allison. He said, burned a piston and rod bearing failure. Hopefully that rod bearing failure has not destroyed the crank. That's the worry. Hopefully there's something there that could be, if the bearing failed, maybe it didn't scratch something, put some bearings in there, slap her back together, and just keep going. We hope. So we'll see what comes out of that, and I hope for the best for you guys, since apparently you're listening. So we'll see what happens. But moving on to four-wheel drive class. This was, now, again, I'm not in order with these sheets. It's not the order of how they pulled. The video, I think I put the video together, the winner's circle video. I think I put that together in the order that they pulled. It took me a little while to figure it all out, but yeah, that was a little just trying to rush, and you end up trying to rush, and you end up hurting yourself more. So that's what happened to me tonight. But anyhow, rounding up four-wheel drive mods. First place, Mr. Troy Nails, the Killin Time Chevrolet, brings home first at 333.33. Interesting number. Second place, Dan Savage with the Bad S Chevy at 328.11. Third place, Timmy Varner with the Risky Business Chevy, 324.22. Fourth place, Billy Kramer with the Contender Chevy at 322.17. Fifth place, Wayne Tapscott II with the Tasmanian Terror 2 Chevy, 319.97. Yes, I will do that every time. Changing it up now. Sixth place, Ross Berger with the Summertime Blues Ford, all right, at 318.67. Seventh place, Dennis Grove with the Mountain Mule Chevy, 316.61. Just let me know if it gets annoying because I'll just keep doing it. Number 8 with the Kevin Abshire with the Gone AWOL Jeep. Let's throw that in a little kicker. Everybody knows that vehicle at 316.24. Ninth place, Jacob Kramer at Supernatural Chevy, 315.08. I'm entertaining myself. 10th place was John Dugan with the Damage Plan Ford, 312.22. 11th place, Miss Charmaine Clark with the Snap-on Chevy at 277.20. 12th place, Kelsey Omps, Green Machine Ford, 267.60. 13th place, me, with the Temper Tantrum Small Block, 255.04. Yay! And not really placing, unfortunately. Jimmy Moritz with the Unleashed Ford, he scratched, found something wrong in the truck. I don't know exactly what. I didn't touch base with him yet on it. I know I heard something grinding when he was going down getting pulled, so I don't know what happened. So it's a tough break on that. He came to pull, and I hate to see nobody pull, but apparently it was something that's not easily fixed, nothing that can be fixed at the event. So, it's a shame. Hopefully he gets that sucker back up and running. And apparently he sent me some pictures of his shop, the lights. He's got LEDs in there, and I really want those lights. But the truck's in the shop, so that may be a good sign. Maybe we're fixing that baby. So, moving on to the Limited Pro Stock Semis. First place, Mr. Hank Oester with the Scrapper at 329.18. Second place, Dave Greek with the Pressure Time Peterbilt, 317.95. Third place, Leon Martin, Inconvenience Freightliner, 304.87. Fourth place, Albert Brown with Back in Black, Mac, 290.31. Fifth place, Paul Garbett at the Hillside Trucking with the 83 Mac Superliner, 273.62. Sixth place, Buster Adams, not a V8, Mac, 244.07. And seventh place, John Rees with the Diamond in the Rough, old Diamond T truck that's real cool with the old 855 Cummins in it at 224.72. Rain plagued them. That's when the rain came, is when the semis were starting to go out, and it just made slime fest. And a couple of the guys came back and repulled after the rain, and the Diamond T didn't. The wife was actually videoing while I was hiding in the playing with tires being dry. She was out there videoing in the rain, and supposedly something happened to that truck, and I didn't get with him. I didn't know about it until, now. And apparently that's why he didn't pull back, so I guess that distance stuck. So he just figured, well, there it is, and then we're going to go with it. So unfortunate for some of the guys there. Not everything, I wouldn't say it was bad because it wasn't, there was only a couple, but it's still, to put it out there in the best way I can, to me, it still sucks to see that happen to anybody. I don't care who it is. So hopefully they get up and running. Hopefully it's not too costly and they can get rocking and rolling and moving again. So if anybody who is following the four-wheel drive trucks. I really should make a list of everything, of every class, and I just haven't gotten to that point yet. I just keep track of mine because I got enough to keep track of, let alone everybody else's event dates. But like I said, if you're following the four-wheel drive trucks, our next one with the East Coast Pullers, we're going to be headed out to Liskey, Pennsylvania. Don't know exactly where that is. Never been there. I just know I consider it Pittsburgh. I'm not sure which way I'm pointing. Somewhere that way. It's out there. It's a pretty good ride. But that is on July 22nd, 2017 at 6 p.m. So if you're in that area, the Western PA area, that's where we're going to be. Then we come back on the 26th, which Liskey is Saturday. The Wednesday after that, we come back here to Livin, which is considered local for me. It's about an hour and a half north towing for me, somewhere in that area. Livin Expo and Fairgrounds, where they hold the Beast of the East that I talk about every so often. I help them guys out. That's where we'll be Wednesday night. Then, the Saturday after Livin, we go all the way back out again to Dunbar, which is Fayette. I think it's Fayette County Fair or whatever it is. That is basically Liskey again, if you want to call it that. They're not separated by much. So we're going, this is how I figured my week out. Pittsburgh, Lancaster, Pittsburgh. That's the way we're going. So it's going to be quite some miles. Hopefully the old girl that I got hooked to that trailer there, hopefully she can pull it off. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a haul, but it's going to be some new stuff. I guess a lot of the guys from out west out that way, some of them will enter. I think one of the nights, one of their local classes is there. So it'd be good to see all the guys I talk to on Facebook that I never get to pull with or see them pull. It's going to be really cool to go out there, pull one of their tracks, even though I'm with the East Coast guys, but be able to be there with them, and just experience their track, their pulling, if they do something different, if they don't, I don't know. So it'll be really cool to see the guys. I think, I don't know if it's Dunbar or Liskey, one of those two. I think it's Dunbar that Mark Petros out there with Greensburg Machine. If you're into four-wheel drives, he is a four-wheel drive truck puller. He has a shop. He does a lot of driveline stuff. Any part you need, the man can just about get you. He deals with the real wheels. He should be pulling at Dunbar, and I am yet to see his truck hook live, in person. So I'm pretty sure it is Dunbar. So I'm really, really excited to get out there for that. Like I said, even though it's a haul, I'm going to head out the night before, sleep, and try to make it back home the same night of the pull, if possible. If not, we'll just sleep again. Whatever. That's why I bought the trailer. There's reasons. So, but anyway, getting out there is going to be something different, something cool, and I'm praying for crappy tracks. I've talked about this before. The good tracks, like Boonsboro was and Shippensburg, them guys, they could beat me any given day. Don't get me wrong. But if I can get a crappy track, they have a hard time. They have so much power. If on a crappy track, they can overpower it. You see, me, since I'm lower horsepower, on the crappier tracks, I can just full bore it, and I don't have to let off the throttle. Just go. So it's an easy pull, number one. And a lot of times the guys have a little bit of trouble, so sometimes I have a little bit of an advantage on this crappier track. So I'm always looking for that crappy track. It's just something, like not talking down on nothing. It's just I seem to have a really good hold on junk. It's something I just do. So, but anyway, moving on. Let's see if I can find it here. Click on that. We got our winter clips from Boonsboro. Let me think how the classes went. We should be running, first class should have been mod, moving on then to the semi. I think pro stock diesel pickup, pro stock tractor, super stock pro stock tractor, and then the four-wheel drive should be last. So if I got everything right, like I said, this was last minute, so I hope nothing got screwed up. I didn't even get to preview it. So we're all first time on this video, so hopefully it went right. So we'll pop this baby in there, and everybody can enjoy.
With the Radial Reactor. facts. You think that ain't a hot Cummins with 4... It's called Chapter 11, and it's a man, how about a hand for Norman Newswanger, Marty? Well, he's beaten. How about a nice hand for him? He's living at the full mark right now. I think we might have a new leader. Very nice and made that look so. Killin time, number 7 in third points. Happy anniversary! How about a nice hand for Troy Nails? How about a nice hand for Dan Savage? Hot dog, how about a nice hand for Timmy Varner? Nothing wrong with that.
And there you have it. There is our winner's circle, top 3 for all the classes that we had, the 5 classes that night at Boonsboro, Maryland. East Coast Pullers LLC is what you watched. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Every night, I almost did not screw up. We were doing so good. And we didn't freeze up yet. I'm amazed. So I think I got everything fixed. I'm overly excited over this. This is pretty nice. Let me close that out there. But yeah, that's some awesome runs that night. The track, I mean, it was biting. If you had the power, I mean, the ground speed was phenomenal. I mean, you watched everything on there. You watched Ryan Hoyt with the nutcase. I mean, that tractor was on a rail. I mean, you see how far it took it out. I mean, he just laid it down, and that was the end of it. I mean, nobody was catching him. All 3 four-wheel drive trucks were pretty close. If you watch carefully, if you watch Dan Savage with the Badass truck, the flat black, the old Three Bears truck, Leroy Booth had it the fair game, and now Dan's got it. If you watch just at the end of his pull, you'll see a spark back there. I want to say possibly drive shaft, yoke, U-joint, something in that area. You'll see that flash that came up. At some point, I'm going to get the Winter Circle videos up on YouTube. I don't know when. It's a lot. I'm still editing videos. I say this almost every week. But excuse me. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff to do. But anyway, awesome night. I mean, just awesome track. I mean, you saw it. It was just all 3 of those four-wheel drive trucks. I mean, they were stacked. I mean, Troy just had a run. He finally got this truck dialed in, and I guess we'll roll right into that right now. One thing I really wanted to touch base on is he struggled with that truck hopping. I don't know. I think it was a clutch issue he had. He finally ironed that out. Finally getting a handle on the truck. And new motor went in. I think it was this year. They both went to the Sonny Leonard Hemis, which make phenomenal horsepower if you got the money. I mean, they're not cheap. But he's finally getting that thing dialed in, getting the chassis, getting the clutch, getting everything in that truck to handle that new horsepower. And it's really, it's starting to shine. And I tell you, he is upsetting the points pretty soon. He is coming up fast. Got the thing right here. I made sure I printed it out. He started at the bottom. At Fishersville, the thing just would not stop bouncing. He's just like, live to fight another day. He ended up dead last in the class. Started at the bottom of the points barrel and hit every event. Struggled a little bit. So let's see. We'll go through it. Fishersville was the bottom at 30 points. Luray was decent with 40 points. 38 at the Buck, kind of hanging in there. Went up to Bloomsburg and laid down a pass like he did here at Boonsboro. Ended up getting a win at Bloomsburg, PA. Came back after that, went to Shippensburg, and I don't know what happened. Ended up 36 points. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of the placing right there, but it's 2 points down. 50 is the top, so figure it out. So 50 is the top. He ended up 36. So something happened there. Then he came out to Boonsboro and waxed that 50 again, and I mean, you saw the hook. I mean, phenomenal, awesome, straight line on rails, right down that track. I mean, just what a hook. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, he just laid it down, and I mean, if he keeps that momentum, if that keeps up, and he has that truck, I mean, it's still, he's trying to figure it out. I mean, it's different. So you don't know, okay, on a track that may not be as bitey as Boonsboro, that'll take that power. Say we go up to Listy, and Listy's not going to take that much. Now he's got to figure out what he can get away with, how much more bite to try to put in the truck to grip, air pressure. It's a learning curve, but I mean, he's getting there. The A&N pulling team is throwing everything at it, and I mean, they're making waves with the points. But he went to last. He's in 7th place right now with 244 total points. Now, like I said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the four-wheel drive mod class. We have 7 pulls left. All right, now, granted, they don't get rained out. We have 7 pulls left. He's at 244. Kramer with the Contender Chevrolet is tied with him at 244, and he is in 6th place. Above that is 252, which is not that many points out. I mean, it's got a little bit there. I mean, you're looking at 8 points, but with the gone AWOL, I mean, Troy's teammate, he's at 252. He's creeping up. 254 is above that with the Risky Business with Timmy Varner. He's in 4th place. Dan Savage with the Bad S is 266, tied with the other Kramer boy with that 277. Trying to think. Supernatural is... I get them screwed up. I can never keep track of them, too. Let me look in the paper, because I want to be right here. We're going to make sure. We're going to take 2 seconds to make sure we're right. Okay, Billy is with the Contender, and Jacob's got Supernatural. I gotta commit that to memory. So, yeah, Supernatural sitting in second place with 266 points, tied with Badass. So Tasmanian Terror, Wayne Tapscott, he's still sitting at in first place in the points, but only at 272. Now, like I said, 7 polls left if they all go and we don't get rained out. So anything is possible right now. I mean, if Troy keeps getting runs like that and keeps adding the points, now, I mean, it depends where they fit in. But, I mean, if he beats the Contender, I mean, he's at 244. If he beats him next time, he's going to be 2 points up on top of him. So then there's the growth there. Say his teammate Gone AWOL doesn't, have that good of a run, and Troy just puts four or five trucks in between them. He could be at that spot instantly. I mean, you can get 6 points. That ain't no problem. So, I mean, he is growing. He is rocking, as I said in my post, he is rocking that points boat. I mean, he is killing it right now. And I really hope that momentum sticks for him. I love the truck. Great. I mean, that whole team, the whole A&M pulling team, great people. I mean, they're just really cool to be around with. Always give you a little bit of time to talk without me going crazy. I talk to them like a kid because I look up to them. So try not to annoy them. But, great people. And, I mean, he's on a warpath. And, I mean, he's got his head in the game. I think he's not done making waves. I think there's going to be some more. If he keeps going the way he's going, he's, like I said, I'm hanging in there just by dumb luck, right underneath him in 8th place in the points. And I mean, he's going to run away from me because he was, like I said, he is at the bottom, and he just kind of, like, wait a minute, you're in front of me. I mean, believe me, with their trucks, they deserve to be in front of me, but still, I mean, boom, there he was. I'm like, holy crap. So, I mean, awesome job by that team. Hopefully they're watching, maybe. Yeah, Tiffany said Troy had an amazing run. It was awesome. Awesome run. I mean, that thing, I don't know how much ground speed he had. I need to get a radar gun. I will invest in a radar gun just to know how fast that some of these runs are, because I would love to have that one marked down in the books, because he was booking, absolutely booking. So I don't want to bore everybody with the with 4-wheel drive trucks. There's so many other classes. It's just that stuck in my mind. I am a 4-wheel drive nut, so every so often you're going to have to hear it. But like I said, everybody had an awesome run. In the mod tractors, I missed them, and I missed the semis. I actually missed all the diesel classes. Almost all of them. Pro stock, I saw a little bit of towards the end. I got a couple of them down. Great runs. I mean, the Hoyt with that nutcase tractor is unbelievable. Unbelievable lately. You can't stop him. I mean, the thing is making some awesome, absolutely awesome horsepower to where he can grab that certain gear, get that wheel speed, and rock and roll with that thing. So that is definitely a force to be reckoned with. He's not in the points. He's not running for points this year with that tractor. But if he did, or next year if he does, that's going to be a nasty. If he's got the same momentum like he's built in that thing this year, it's going to be a nasty sucker to play with. So, I mean, things are happening. I mean, like I said, going on the points thing again. I mean, not knocking anybody down or any reason, but I think if I remember right, I didn't print them out this week. I try to give it a couple of weeks before, see what happens before we tap back into that points rundown. But first one at Fisherville, Davey and Tara Moore, 1 and 2. And then after that, I think we went to Buck got rained out. Luray went back down to Luray. They both had decent runs down there too. I think it was a 1 and 2 also. I can't remember. I'd have to look back. But started off just boom, 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 boom. And I mean, Davey's still making good runs, and then Tara had that stinking turbo problem, and it's like the plague now all of a sudden. And it just kind of like slowed her up. I mean, she was right there, and then all of a sudden, like, we fell this way, but we're starting to move back up a little bit. We just got to figure out what to do, like what's going on with the tractor. Why isn't it performing like it did? And it's like, all right, so that changed up. And like I said, then Ryan came out with his tractor, not running the points, but he came out, and I mean, he's throwing a wave in. And then Tommy's been having some good runs. He wasn't going to run the points. He was just going to play around, go to this pull, go to that pull. Well, he's been having some good pulls, so he joined the points thing, and now he's making a wave. And it is awesome. It is turning up. Mid-season is turning up to be just absolutely awesome. If you follow pulling, if you're into it, you love the sport. This is where it's at. I'm going to tell you, people look at the pulling, the brush pulls, like if you're not chasing points or something, it's just a pull. You pull for that day. But there's a big picture here, just like, I hate to resort it to this, but like NASCAR. Don't shoot me, dodge bullets, play the Matrix here. But, the points is what, this part makes it just so exciting for me because anything is possible. Anything can change up at this point. Things are so tight, just in this truck class, not even the other ones. I could dig them up. They're over here in a pile somewhere. Every class has got those couple that are tight. Like, between Len Brookhart and Jason Mckenzie, I think it's only 2, maybe 4 points, if that. I think they're just 2 back. It is just tight. Diesel pickup, your East Coast diesel, pro stock diesel pickup trucks. Those things are tight up there. Andrew, Norman, and now all of a sudden, James Barter was up in that mix. He was up there. It was mostly Andrew and Norman going back and forth, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And then James came up, started making some good hooks, kind of stuck his nose in there where he's getting close to nipping to falling into that area. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere lately, after Shippensburg, Carl Ankiewicz pops in, and now he's coming in third, second. It's like, well, holy crap. I think Shippensburg was first, wasn't it? Oh, I don't have it on here. Crap. But anyway, I think he got first. I think for the points. I wish I knew, damn it. But he all of a sudden popped up and been like, hey guys, guess what? Curveball. Here comes Carl. Now he's trying to screw the mix up. And I'm not saying screw it up in a bad way. It is friggin' awesome how this is. The guys are starting to figure stuff out. They're getting a handle on the truck, getting a handle on the tracks. And now all of a sudden, all these guys that you thought, oh, he ain't got a chance, all of a sudden, boop, here he comes. So now things are they're changing up. It is changed up. It's exciting as anything. Get on the site. If you follow East Coast, these little pieces of paper right here, well, it's hard to see. That's a little points printout for the four-wheel drive. Hard to see, but that's kind of what it looks like. They got all of them. Two-wheel drive, the 466 class, everything, even the hot rod semis that run all over the place. All the point standings are there to follow. And if you're into the pulling stuff, like I was going for, if you're into it, and you like watching and you enjoy it, but you never get into the points thing, if you really have a passion for it and your heart's in it, as a spectator, get on the East Coast website. Get on there, eastcoastpullersllc.com. Get on that website, hit the little button up top that says points, and you can start following that stuff. And it's going to get you tighter into it. At least it does for me. To where, like I said, I'm getting hot in here. I had to turn the air conditioners off because you'll hear them in the microphone, a little noisy. And a 10,000 BTU air conditioner makes a little bit of noise. But, I'm getting hot and sweaty. It's action. The action's coming. At the beginning of the season's like, all right. But even though you got like I said, the Groundhog Day show with, Len and Jason going back and forth, and like Andrew and Norman going back and forth, with the diesel pickups. But the exciting part is that we're getting to the wire. I'm not totally the wire, but you're getting close to where if you're going to make moves and you're going to start gathering points to get into another spot, you need to do it, and you need to do it now. You might have wanted to do it yesterday. Not sure. But we're getting to that nitty-gritty point where, things got to happen. If not, you're going to be where you're at. You got to make the moves. And, this is where things are going to, they're going to start, they might start, choking up the wick on the truck and pushing that limit to where anything could possibly go wrong now because, man, I need to get those 4 extra points. How am I going to do this? Now we're starting to think. We're starting to wrench. We're really getting tight on stuff. So, this is where it's at. We're about mid-season in most of the classes. Some of the classes got quite a few, but they're shorter. Like two-wheel drive doesn't have that many events just because of the limited number of two-wheel drives. But, this is where it's at. If you're not watching this stuff, if you're not into it, get your nose into that points thing and start watching this stuff. Even the winner's circle, the rundowns. You can get all this. You don't have to wait for me. You can get all this information right on their webpage and start following this and be like, man, look at that, look at that. it's getting tight. And I'm loving it. I'm getting nuts over this stuff. There's tractors that coming up like, there's one. Tim Ammons joined. Poor guy he's having good runs, but not what we expect. He's having a year like me. It seems like something's fighting him maybe, but who knows? Next event we go out, one of his tractors might go out there and run the mill on everybody. That's the point it's at where things are starting to flip around to where, he hasn't been up in the top. He hasn't been in top three, whatever. Yeah, you might knock the guy for it or whatever. Well, shame on you for doing it, but he might surprise you. he might come out with that tractor and just give her holy hell, come out there and just knock everybody down and be like, well, what happened? You don't know. I mean, this is where it's coming. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with the rest of the stuff. But like I said, I'm not going to go completely at about 9:15. Yeah, we're going to try to keep this around an hour. I'm going to keep the phone lines down. We're just going to keep. When's the next poll and where? Thank you, Tiffany, for reminding me. I about threw that away. We'll get to the East Coast one. A couple people have messaged me this, and I got stuff going through my head with the house stuff going on. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on. But a couple people were messaging me. I asked them to, if you want something promoted, if you got a poll coming up, I can't keep track of them all. It's hard for me to keep touch with everything. I try to write them down, but things get mismatched like tonight. But anything that you would want promoted, I mean, put it on. If you're watching the show, throw it on there. Throw on whatever you want to put out there to promote or whatever. I don't have a problem with any of that, just so anybody knows. If there's anything, if you have a poll you want to promote, shoot it my way, PM me something, let me know about it. I'll throw it out there. I mean, it's nothing big. I mean, I got time. We'll throw it. It takes a couple seconds to throw it on the show. It's not a big deal. The only way to grow the sport is to get it out there. And if we could get it out there by word of mouth, video, whatever it may be, that's how it's going to get out there. So, if you want the help, whatever, throw it my way. I'll throw it out there for you. It's nothing. It takes nothing. It's nothing but a tiny little effort. It's nothing big. But anyhow, one of the ones that I have a couple here that's in the area. One is a little bit further north. I had a whole list, but of course, I don't have it with me with all this jumbled mess. Snyder County tractor pull, Saturday the 15th, this coming weekend, 6:30 p.m. They have tractors, gas trucks, diesel trucks. Run what you brung class. I had all the weights and everything that they had for the tractors and all, but like I said, that sheet, I just didn't have enough time to jot it all down. Go on www.ptpa, that's PTPA, as in Pennsylvania, pullers.com. It'll give you the rundown of what it is, probably rules and everything. I didn't get on the site yet, but that's where you're going to check it out for the information. If you're up in that area, again, at Snyder County Tractor Pull, going up there Saturday the 15th, this Saturday. Now, this week locally, because it's off the top of my head and I was in a rush, the only thing I could think of off the top of my head, East Coast Pullers will be at this event come this Saturday. But it is Fair Week for Delta at the Mason Dixon Fair, Mason Dixon Pulls, whatever you want to call it. It's in Delta, Pennsylvania. Can't think of the road. 70. Dude, I can't even think of what it is. I almost want to say 72, but no, 74. I think they consider it 74, Delta Road or something of the sort. Thursday, which is tomorrow night, if you're in the area, they have the dirt drags that they've incorporated. I mean, the guys seem to like the stuff. It's actually a pretty good track for that too. It's a little bit of a looser track, but it's coming along. They're getting there. They had some unsuspecting dirt dumped on it last year, so they're getting a handle on it. Anyhow, dirt drags are Thursday for the fair. They're doing their pickup truck, so I think they're doing both gas and diesel, if I'm correct. So don't quote me. Check them out. I'm not sure exactly where to go, but look up Mason Dixon Pulls, something. You'll be able to get a hold of somebody. I didn't do the homework for you. I'm sorry. Ran out of time. Friday night at Delta, again, at Mason Dixon Fair, they're going to have your local classes for your truck pull. Your gas classes, your diesel, probably work stock 25, 2630 area. Gas trucks, I think they run like a work stock gas, street stock, I think they call it, and then pro stock. So there's a little mix of everything. Like if I have DOT tires on my truck, I can technically run a pro stock class. So it's that type of truck. Solid rear suspension, headers through the hood. DOT tire only for all classes. No cut tires. But then Saturday at Delta again, Mason Dixon Fair. Saturday is the PPL, Pro Polling League East Coast Pullers, as we always talk about. They will be there. They have 3 classes that will be there. They're going to have their limited pro stock semis will be there. The East Coast diesel, pro stock diesel 4-wheel drive pickups will be there. And the 466 hot farm class, which is an awesome class, tight, competitive. I love that class. I love them all, but 466 is just a trip to watch. I don't know. There's something. I have a bond with them. I don't know. I just like them. They'll all be there. All points classes too. So there's that points thing again. If you're in the area, print those sheets out. Sit there with them. Have fun with it. Make a hobby out of this. It'll be awesome. Like I said, you stick your nose in them points. It's going to be really cool. So All right, Tiffany said, yeah, 74. So, yeah, there we go. My geographical knowledge button kind of switched itself off up there for some reason. I don't know why. So, but that's what's going on in this area. I know there was a bunch more. I had a list. I was looking through Facebook, looking at this, looking at that. I had a whole entire list the other day. Poof. There it went. So it's probably in the house, and I just can't find it. Like I said, we got paperwork for house stuff. Looking for a pole building to put up on the property as soon as if we secure the property, if it all works out. There's so much crap going on. So I was actually wanting to pull the truck Saturday night just for a fun pull, just for something to do. Since it's the East Coast event, and since I'm in the East Coast, I can technically run the truck even though the class isn't there. I was going to do it kind of just like exhibition, whatever, just kind of get people interested. Hopefully, just throw it out there, be like, oh yeah, the trucks, bring them back, whatever, and try to grow that. Delta kind of fell off a little bit, and I don't want to see it go. It's one of the last few, local tracks we have in the area, and I don't want to see it go by the wayside. So any kind of help is good to do. And I wish I could have done that, but I haven't even got the truck out of the trailer. My tubes ain't showed up yet. I've been doing all this stuff, house stuff. I have gotten nowhere. Since I came home Saturday night from Boonsboro, I haven't touched the trailer. I haven't even gone in there yet to charge batteries for the impact guns and stuff. Just nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, but that's where we stand for right now. We're about that hour mark, and I think we'll call it good on an hour finally, so I don't bore the crap out of everybody. But like I said, this weekend coming up, we got Delta. We got the fair going on. So fair time, like I said, you got dirt drags, you got the local pull classes, and then the semis, the East Coast diesel pickup trucks, and the 466 class will be there. I don't think there is another one. I would check if I could. My phone's tied up. I do not think, I could be wrong. Just to be safe, I'll go check. I'll post it even if I'm wrong on the Spinnin and Grinnin page. I don't think that there is another pole stepping on Delta that I know of with East Coast. I don't know if there's somewhere else or not. I know Tuckahoe's coming. I just don't know exactly what weekend it is. I cannot remember. But I don't think it's this weekend because I think the diesels are. But I will check and I will make sure. So Tiffany said good night. So she's saying get the hell off the air. So all right, we'll call it good on that. Let me get my other computer fixed up here. I don't know. Don't go to sleep on me. It ain't bedtime. But again, well, before I leave, I keep on forgetting this. My videos are decent. They're okay. I'm getting better with them. We'll fly this little sucker up in there. For any of the videos of the events, East Coast events, I mean, there's some, he might do extra. I'm not sure everything he does. I don't follow him like a puppy dog. But Jerry Richardson with Eastern Extreme Polling does the videos, pictures, stuff like that. Mostly his videos. I mean, that's what he puts out. I love them. They're sitting up here, and I didn't turn my tractor on. Boy, I'm really screwing up. But the videos up front, like I said, he's got the Oops. I actually just picked up the Oops Volume 13. Mr. Mike Walker said I was in that one, and he lied because I didn't see myself. So I'm going to have to ask him about that. Be like, where did you get this information? But anyhow, I had a little boo-boo at Harrisburg, so I figured maybe one day I'd make it, but no big deal. I ain't worried about it. It's probably better I'm not. But the Oops Volumes 1 through 13, he's got them all. You got Keystone, all the years of Keystone. Most, if not all the years of Keystone. History stuff right here from Buck Motorsports, what is it, NTPA and whatever the heck they had back then. I can't even remember right now. I got so much. But you got just stuff, history, 70s. The first videos don't even have sound. I mean, it's just, you're just watching the old guys pull. Then you get to see the evolution of the trucks rolling in the late 70s, and it's really cool stuff. So any of the stuff that you want, all right, Tuckahoe is next weekend, the 21st. There we go. Clarification. All right. That works for me. So, all right, so that's good. So next weekend's Tuckahoe. Now, I think, Tuckahoe is on the 21st. Which means I'm going to miss that because on the 21st, as they're pulling and having fun, where I could be there, video, watch, have a good time, I'm going to be in transit to Listy, Pennsylvania Friday night so I could get the heck out there. So, unfortunately, I got to miss Tuckahoe, which Tuckahoe's got the two-wheel drives are showing up there. So, if you're a two-wheel drive truck pulling fan, wheel standing little suckers, you know how they work, like that little thing I got sitting over here. They're going to be at Tuckahoe, so it's going to be a nice, loud, fun show. I don't know all the classes, but they are definitely a class to watch. There's not a whole lot of them. I don't know where all these trucks went, but they still put on a really cool show. It's fun to watch them things. You never know what to expect. So anyhow, there's Eastern Extreme pulling for you. Make sure you check him out. Check his videos. Like I said, history, new stuff, Keystone. You can get all tractor sets, all truck sets, modifieds, whatever you want. Talk to the man. He's got all sorts of stuff. Check his stuff out. It's good stuff. I get stuff every year from usually Keystone, except for the one. And I got to remember, I got to pay him for that one yet because I didn't have enough money on me because my fire suit is limited pockets. So, but we won't forget. We'll get to you. So, but anyhow, let me get my show clips thing up here. And we're going to call it good. So if I could find my mouse, I got mice everywhere. We're going to call it happy building, happy pulling, and hook safe from Spinnin and Grinnin. See ya.